question is that the motion be agreed to.
Mr Speaker.
Adrian Rurewhai.
Ko te mea tuatahi tuake au ki te tautoko o te reo ko moimiti ki a rātou mā te wāhi ngaro. Nō reira, e te tuakana e tukana atu taua hoka moimiti tēnei te mihi ake ki a koe. O tino, mai i te rakiura ki te tonga, whiti atu ki te whare kauri, ki te rāwhiti, toro atu ki taranaki ki te uru, piki ake ki te reinga, ki te taitoke rau. Ngā kokonga e whā o te motu o Aotearoa, ngā whānau i raro i te kapua pauri, kei te hikoi i roti i te ātarangi o ngā whārua o te mate. Mauria mai rā o koutou pare kawa, kia tangihia i te wā iti nei. Tēnei te tangi apakura e aku pare aku waka ruruhau e te mūrau o te tini, te wene rau o te mano. Kua mānu ki te waka o Aitua. Nō reira e ngā mate maha o te wā hoki wairo atu ki a rātou mā te wā ingaro. Nō reira o te atu te wā ki a koutou e oki. Nō reira, e tika oki kia uri atu ki ngā whānau me ngā hapu o Ngāruahine. Koutou katoa kua tai mai ki tēnei whare, ki te whakarongo, ki te pānuitanga tuarua o tēnei pire, nau mai, ara mai, whakatau mai rā, tēnā koutou. Mr Speaker, it gives me great pleasure to speak on the second reading of the Ngāruahine Settlement Bill. I had the pleasure of sitting on the select committee for this bill, and I want to acknowledge all of the submitters that made submissions in support of this settlement bill. There were some submissions that did stand out for me, and I just want to acknowledge one in particular, and that was a submission by Peter Moyahu, who told us about when this process started and reflected on the changes within his own family. And he spoke about that at the time that this settlement first started, that he had one mokopuna, one grandchild, and at this stage I think he had about at least 9 from memory, and several great-grandchildren as well. And I think that for me expressed how this settlement, because this is what he told us, was about his future generations, not for himself. And I think that reflected the sentiments from a number of submitters, that it was about the future. And if we also look at the summary of the historical account, I'll read the first sentence. It goes, before 1860, Ngāruahine were prosperous and economically successful and retained the ownership of their lands and resources after consistently opposing the sale of land in their rohe to Europeans. So that first sentence tells us a lot about the history of when the breaches of the treaty started. So in 1860, Ngāruahine were prosperous and then economically successful. Peter Moyahu talked about the future of his family and his hapu, and I wanted to reflect on from 1860 till now. A lot has happened to diminish the prosperity and the economic success of this of Ngāruahine. And only yesterday we found out through a report that talks about the prosperity of our own people, whereby the majority of assets in this country are owned only by 10%, and that 10% do not include Māori or many Māori at all, or Pacifica as well. And I wanted to mention that because I think that gives us some context around why we have these settlement bills coming to this House. This settlement is an opportunity for Ngāruahine to start turning around the lack of prosperity, the lack of economic success for their tribe. And I think that it would be remiss of me not to mention that in comparison to others, Māori only have an average of $23,000 worth of assets. Pacifica have only 12,000, and European Pākehā have $114,000 worth of assets on average. So there's huge disparity in our country today, and I think hopefully that the Ngāruahine can take this settlement and build on future success or potential of future success so that their people can live in prosperity. So there were also some submitters that did not agree with the settlement, and the Minister has mentioned that, and I too wanted to mention Aro Kuku. In a way, it's been quite an unfortunate process for Aro Kuku. But on reflection of all of the evidence, despite their concerns, the committee acknowledged those concerns. The Aro Kuku hapu were included in the Ngāti Ruanui settlement in 2003. And not all of the Aro Kuku people agreed with that settlement. But there was not, in the opinion of the committee, the scope to allow a discrete settlement for Aro Kuku. Those members of Aro Kuku who have whakapapa to Ngāruahine can still participate within the Ngāruahine settlement under the relevant hapu that they whakapapa to. So whilst it's an unfortunate series of events and it's still going through a judicial process, it's important that I think that we acknowledge that they did make submissions. So there's also the actual settlement itself, and I mentioned about the financial redress, which is by no means the most important issue. I think probably more important is the cultural redress items that are within this settlement, and they are significant. And I want to acknowledge the both the iwi but also the negotiators of this settlement for their tenacity in getting such a good settlement, both financially under the commercial redress and under the apology and the cultural redress items as well. It could not have been an easy process to go through, and I want to acknowledge all the good work that they did. Nō reira, tēnei ahau te tihi uri o ngā waka taurua e tuku mii atu anō ki aku whanaunga kua tai mai, o te rā ki ngā whānau me ngā hapu katoa, ki au nei ko te tūmanako kia pai haere, ngā āhuatanga e pāna ki tēnei pire, ko tata te wā ki te mutunga o tēnei whakahaerenga, o tino he tīmatanga tēnei. Nō reira, kei te mii atu ki a koutou o Ngāruahine o tino ki ngā memo o te whare nei, tēnā tātou katoa.